Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another edition of the Mirror Gaming Walkthrough. We took last week off because we just knew that the world of gaming would be flooded with so much big news this week. So we've got quite the show in store for you today. But this is Mirror Gaming Walkthrough, the weekly gaming news show full of spicy takes and juicy gossip. This week, we're going to be talking about GTA 6 has finally been announced. And then we've also got the PS5 Slim teardowns, which have just released. So we'll be talking about that, followed by the Legend of Zelda movie, live action. Anyway, before we get into all that, as always, let's roll titles.
Are you prepared to go public with your KD online or
no?
Everyone thinks he or she is the best football expert on the planet.
You see it in the back page of the Mirror, deal agreed.
I think the most important thing is just to have fun. What?
310.
No, what button is it?
Well, hello.
We're ready to come for the W, yeah?
Ooh, 12. Ooh.
Here we go. If you can master second man press, you will defend 10 times better.
Today I'm going to be reviewing the PSVR 2 headset.
Yes, that's right. We're not operating at a 10. We're not operating at an 11. We're operating at an 12. We've mastered second man press. And joining me this week, it's me, Aaron Potter, gaming content creator. I've done them already. Matt Aldus is here. How are you doing today, Matt?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Good. That hat is
Loads to talk about.
On fleek as ever. You're quite color coordinated, actually.
I am today. Yeah, I am. I worked hard at it this morning.
Happy days. And it's lasted all the way through to this afternoon. I'm impressed. We're also joined by She Loves to Laugh. It's hardware expert and gaming content creator Jasmine Mannan. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Happy to be here. I feel like I haven't been on the podcast in like months, I think.
Is that right?
I don't know. It's been ages. Like I haven't been on the last few. We skipped last week. I just feel like I'm glad to be back. I'm really glad to be back.
Yeah, and obviously people that are tuning in will have noticed that we're coming to you at the slightly earlier time of 3:30. That's because there's literally so much stuff going on behind the scenes in lieu of these big announcements that we thought we'd get in there nice and early. But anyway, without further ado, GTA 6 has finally been announced with the reveal trailer coming in December. So yes, earlier today there were reports that a GTA 6 announcement will be happening either during the Take-Two earnings call or before, which happened at 9:30. Oh, it's still coming, actually. So we got the trailer eventually just ahead of time. Because Rockstar Games boss Sam Houser took to his official Twitter account and the Rockstar Games Twitter account and posted that the rumors were true, saying, quote, "We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you." And obviously, 2023, it's been 10 years since GTA 5 first released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And December will mark the 25th anniversary of Rockstar Games. So it's really all coming together. The planets are aligning and GTA 6 is indeed real. So first impressions, we all knew this day was coming. We had some leaks last year that confirmed that GTA 6 was quite a ways into development. But what are your guys' initial thoughts on GTA 6 being announced?
Do you want to go first, Matt?
Yeah. Just got. I don't really know what to say because it's like somebody's just said, yeah, we'll show it to you soon, and until I see that trailer, I don't know how to get excited about it. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. It's like it's obviously like I kind of feel like, oh well, at least we lived long enough to see the release of it, because it's been a long time coming, but. But yeah, apart from that, I'm not like in terms of excitement and stuff. Like obviously, I'm excited to see the trailer, but
yeah,
early Christmas present.
We were talking about this just before the pod. Like for as exciting and like monumental as it is in theory, like there's so little actually out there other than GTA 6 is happening, trailer next month. And I think more so than the moment we're currently in, we're going to look back on December 2023 as the moment where, okay, that was when the hype cycle well and truly begun, as if the 10 years after GTA 5 wasn't already hype enough. Jasmine, do you have any thoughts on this? How did you feel about the way they sort of revealed this? Because
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Go for it.
I feel like they could have done more than just like tweet a tweet. I think like I know that it wasn't like anything important. They weren't actually like putting out the trailer or anything like that. but it is the first sort of official confirmation we've had that GTA 6 is coming, right? And I feel like they could have just done more. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
I
feel a bit
almost would have
sad.
liked-
It was just a bit miserable. It was just a tweet like, "Oh, thank you, everybody. Like,
Send tweet.
we couldn't do this without you." It's like, yeah, duh. That's how games work.
You need us to play the games.
Yeah, like that's how games work.
I
And
kind
they're
of feel
"Oh,
like
here's
they
the
should have just
trailer."
dropped the trailer in December, you know? Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that would have
exactly.
been bigger. That would have felt bigger. But
Yeah.
like, it feels very much like perhaps it's all based around like this earnings call, or like to help please shareholders. Like,
I think that is part of it, but it seems so silly that okay, they had to have their earnings call in November and not just like hold off on it until December when it could have been just like one big surprise. Because
Or they
I
could have
think
just dropped the trailer today.
or today, yeah. Because I was
Like-
about to say, I bet the issue might have been that okay, Jason Schreier's Bloomberg report confirmed that the trailer and the confirmation was coming, but the only reason that he heard that confirmation was coming this week is because confirmation was coming this week. So it's kind of like, you know, a cat and mouse chicken.
but
and egg
I
situation.
think I feel like they might be saving the trailer for the Game Awards. Isn't that next month?
It is in December, yeah. So
I
that's the speculation.
I feel like they're gonna drop it there,
They're
Yeah,
gonna
but
drop it
why?
in the top.
and it's
Why?
gonna
Why
be
did
like
they
an
even?
announcement.
That if they did it at Game Awards, I think that's fine, right? But why did they have to say today that it is coming? Do you know what I mean? Like,
It
they
just
could have
it just
left
really
it,
it
and then
for
the
me.
Game Awards would be like sick. Like everyone will remember it for years. Like, do you remember that Game Awards? where they
Just
showed
just
the
like a
Disney
Beyonce
trailer?
drop of like
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
here it is, like,
And the
and-
game is
That would
out
have been
now.
Amazing.
yeah, that would be amazing. That's incredible.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's very Rockstar. Like, I think the way they're doing it here, like, they're just so matter of fact about everything. Like other studios, you know, months and months to build up their marketing campaigns, but now for the next month, all we're going to be talking about, I know we're inside the industry, is what's going to be in the trailer, how long's going to be, you know, how long is the trailer going to be, where's the trailer going to show up. Like, I agree we've got very little information, but because of the type that it is, they just sent people into a frenzy, and like, you know, we're going to be, you know, trying to predict all these things. Because spoiler alert, guys, I don't know if anybody remembers the GTA 5 reveal trailer, but it wasn't the best, I'll say. It was more of a tone piece as opposed to like, here's the characters you're playing as, here's the like location. Like the GTA 5 trailer was like, they did the classic thing where it was the woman talking like, welcome to Los Santos and everything. And it was all very like neutral and dry because Rockstar are cool like that. And I
Oh,
have to imagine,
you took me right back then. You took
there
me
you
right back.
in the Wayback Machine. Before we continue our discussion, though, we've got JD Incinerator in the chat. JD, good to see you as always. He says, "Oh, Aaron has a stubble." That's right, not just
A
stubble,
stubble.
but a stubble. That's it. That's how big the news has been, JD. I've not even had a chance to shave, and I know Matt knows exactly what I'm talking about there. JD also says GTA 6 has been peddled for ages, and I believe that the hype isn't as meteoric because everyone knows about the rumors and speculation everywhere, so we don't know what's real and what's not. Well, the leaks last year were very real because Rockstar commented on them. They acknowledged that there was a data hack and a breach. So it's very, you know, if we get more of that in the trailer next month, I'm excited. But I want to take it over to you guys. What would you like to see from your first look trailer at GTA? Do you think it's going to be the dry basic thing, or do they need to do more?
I mean,
I
I
don't
would.
think they need to do anything. I think people are going to buy it. People are going to eat it up. Like,
Don't
people-
advertise the game. It's fine.
No, I really don't think they need to. People, I think like the fact that they've made everyone wait a decade for it, people are going to absolutely eat it. It could be the exact same game, exactly the same. And people, it could have the same campaign, and people be like, "Oh yeah."
It's one game that I think that they could literally just drop out of nowhere. They could have done no press or like hype build up for it or anything like that. They couldn't. They would have been able to, you know, in 2025 or whenever it's gonna come out. They could just drop the game and just it's suddenly in the store and everyone's like, "What?" That would set the internet on fire.
But you know the way the gaming industry works, Matt, that's never going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
No,
'Cause
of course,
boxes
but-
need to be printed, and you know, trophy lists need to be updated, all that jazz. But I agree with you, yeah.
But what I mean is like it's one caliber of game that you could do that. So I don't think the trailer is going to be like too revealing of much. Like it's not going to be like we're going to get to see we'll probably get to see where it's
Well,
a
it's
little
pretty-
bit, like, you know, maybe be able to pick out a couple of characters and a bit more of what the sort of city and map might sort of be like. But
we know that it's going to be a new version of Vice City.
Yeah,
which is my personal favorite GTA game. Like, came out a year after GTA 3 because of like the 80s tone. It's not set in the 80s. I believe it's modern day, like this one. Well, again, I guess we'll find out when the trailer eventually drops. We've got Maheen Kisor in the chat. Nice to see you, Maheen, as always. I've not completed Luigi's Mansion 3, by the way, so don't be too angry. But Maheen says, so true. They've stolen the spotlight from the Game Awards if it's there.
But that's what Rockstar always do, don't they? This is what we were kind of chatting about in Slack earlier. I don't know if you guys were involved in that conversation, but we were just talking about how Rockstar are like renowned for just dropping like their announcements at the same time as other stuff that's going on. Like, it's just what they've always done. So I was expecting them to just drop a trailer one day when some big news broke. Like, here's the GTA 6 trailer, by the way, while all the journals are already really busy. Here you go. You know.
Yeah, it's funny because Nathan Bliss, obviously, of this parish, he always jokes. I don't know if he's made the joke on the podcast, but he'll always like
I think
end
he
most
has,
meetings by saying like, "Oh, but what if GTA 6 gets announced?" And lifting the curtain up a little bit, I wake up this morning, I check my phone, it's 8 a.m. and he's DM'd me. It's happening! It's happening! Do you do the same with you, Matt?
With me, I got a text at like 8 in the morning or something, being like, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
And like, fair play to Jason Schreier for like prepping us a little bit, I guess, because that was like, okay, it's coming later this week, and in a way, I think it was a bit of a blessing that it was only a couple of hours later, 3 minutes.
Everyone was on high alert.
Yeah, 3 minutes after I went on lunch, I'll mention that the proper news broke, and Sam Hauser sent his tweet. But yeah, I'm surprised that the internet's still working following the announcement, to be honest, because well, we're going to go talk about another story later, which I thought was going to be the biggest one of the day. But yeah, GTA 6, it's happening, and again, they've not confirmed that it's going to be at the Game Awards. I guess that would make the most sense, but you have to imagine Jeff Keighley is kind of going to do his best to kind of get that in part of the show because it'll get more eyeballs on it than anything, right?
I guess from a professional standpoint, them letting us know on X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it these days is who knows, is at least I can sort of plan. If I'm I've got an idea that is coming in December, I can sort of like plan for it around content stuff and whatnot. So from a professional standpoint, I kind of appreciate the tweet, but from everybody else standpoint, I kind of, it's fine that they did it. They can do what they want, but I don't know, like it was going to make everything else feel a bit like lackluster because they've run the risk of like there being massive hype now, and then it like dwindling a bit. But then they've obviously got like stuff in the back pocket that like my suspicion is Game Awards.
So I've got a question for both of you then, as I've got a lot because it's a podcast. That's what generally happens. But if we're saying it's going to be at the Game Awards, I've broken Jasmine again. Where do you put the trailer for GTA 6 at the show? Again,
at
it's not
the
guaranteed.
end.
Do you put it at the end, or you sure?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think the thing is that they kind of know that a lot of people will probably be tuning in because they want to see the trailer. If they have it right at the start, this is what we talk about. Things that you have to think about when you're a content creator. Retention, the big word.
But also, I think at the end steals the least amount of limelight from the awards show because you actually, you're watching the awards, you're enjoying the awards. If it came out first, every person that would be talking about the awards
that's meant to be like
writing about
on the awards,
they would just immediately drop the awards to write about GTA 6 trailer. So I think it's only fair that it would come at the end, and I think that's the suitable place for it because it's like, right, the awards is over and like we've got one last
we're going to gobsmack you now and you can go away with it. I
think it was the 2019 Game Awards where they ended on the Xbox Series X reveal, and like that was the last like sort of bombshell bang kind of thing, and it was all very like secretive and people didn't know like, oh, is this a new game, or it's looking really Unreal Engine 5, and then you see that like black monolith rise up. So for the most part, I'm in agreement with you that it's probably better for everyone if the GTA 6 trailer comes at the end. But I can't imagine that Rockstar will be like, that almost seems like too predictable for Rockstar for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
Like-
maybe they'll put it a third of the way through.
That's what I was going to say. Where do you
You
think they're
say
going to put
that,
it then? In the
Matt.
middle?
But you say that, I reckon they're crazy enough to do it. Like
Half
What,
time.
slap bang in the centre? Slap bang in
Maybe.
the
I reckon.
Here's an
Yeah,
intermission, guys, and it's the trailer.
I reckon it'll be in the middle of when they're announcing a winner for one of the awards.
when Christopher Judge is accepting his reward and giving his 10-minute long speech again, they'll just drop the GTA 6. Trailer.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. So Maheen's still chatting to us in the chat. Thanks, Maheen. He says it's either at the end of the Game Awards, unless there's a Smash character reveal. Oh my God! Well, haven't they announced that there's no more Smash characters coming? But then who knows? They might have one more surprise up their sleeve. And we've got Scott McRae, news writer himself, says, "Who cares about GTA 6 when Dragon Ball Z Budokai 10-4 is out next year?" And then Scott said, "Nah, they won't do the Game Awards. Would be hilarious if they dropped it the same day though and ruin Jeff Keighley's day." That's the thing. It's like Jeff Keighley needs GTA 6. GTA 6 don't need the Game Awards. But I kind of feel bad for Jeff because people are like, trailer for GTA 6 coming next month. Oh, it must be at the Game Awards. And then if it's not at the Game Awards, then people are going to come away.
He's going to
This
get
is the thing.
he's going to get absolutely obliterated on
But it's not his
Twitter.
fault.
I know
not his
it's
fault,
not his
is
fault.
it?
He's never gonna hear the end of it.
If I was Jeff, like an hour or so before the awards, I'd be like, "We ain't got it, guys, but let's just have a great show."
I'd confirm it. But then they
Yeah.
know that if they confirm that it's not coming, the viewership will be lower because they know that a lot of people
I
are
know.
tuning in just to see it, and people will stay right until the very end in case it's at the very end. That's why they
Yeah.
put it at the end. They'll stay, so he knows.
Yeah.
So he's gonna play off of that.
If it is at the Game Awards, I want to know how he's going to tee it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, what does he say? Like, it's the one you've all been waiting for. Like, if he goes and says that sort of stuff, and it's not the GTA 6 trailer, then every time it's going to be followed by. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it would just be like, oh, and we've got one last thing, and then everything will go black, and then.
But then, what if that moment happens and it's not GTA 6, Matt? That's what I'm saying. What if he tees it up as if it is? And it's not his fault.
Do you
It's
not
gonna
think
be
he
Pie
will? He
Animals
obviously
3.
will. Yeah, Pie Animals 3.
Well, Maheen's in the chat. I think he's got a great idea. He says, "I think they'll drop the GTA 6 trailer in between Emmerdale."
Yes,
Sent
yeah.
me. Oh,
Absolutely.
My God. GTA 6. Scott McRae's also in the chat, says it'll get revealed, give a rough release time, and then get delayed from that, just like GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption. Story, I mean,
They've been working on it for so long now. If they delay it, I'm going to be fuming. At this point, don't even release it or reveal it if
I
you
wouldn't
don't have a
even-
solid release date.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it's ready now.
I think it probably will be.
And like they'll spend the next couple of years just tweaking it, polishing. Like I
Marketing.
wouldn't be, and that'll be their marketing, because I don't think they would. When you've been spending that long on a game, like I think it's kind of silly to like set a date and then be like, oh, it's pie in the sky. Like we're
but
not
it's
sure if we're
become
going to be
so
able to hit
normal now for these
Yeah,
giant
true.
games to be delayed. It's so normal that
They-
people aren't going to be surprised.
and they have to set the date to please investors. That's the only reason why we get a lot of dates, even though, you know, internally you might not know you're not going to hit that date, but it'll keep your stock price afloat before you have to delay it. That's the thing. Scott, I've read that out. JD puts his prediction in, says coming September 2025. I definitely
Oh my
agree.
God,
I think
that's
we're
so
all,
far away.
I think we're all.
I
in
think
agreement it's
middle
coming
of the year
2025.
2025. Yeah, I think
Yeah, it could be
somewhere
a
around
summer
there.
game.
Yeah,
Scott
maybe.
also says actual gameplay was shown of Red Dead 2 days before launch, and it was considered a leak, which tells you enough about how Rockstar market stuff. That's the thing, but obviously we've seen gameplay from GTA 6, guys. We've seen it. We know how it plays. Like, and we know how pretty it looks. It's not final gameplay, so it's interesting to see what they do. Adam L, hi, thanks for coming back, Adam L, and yeah, really appreciate you. Says not 4 p.m. yet. I know, we just had so much news to talk about that we thought we'd jump the gun and go early. And then finally we got Scott McRae says, oh man, I've been like 5 minutes behind. Well,
That's so
sounds
funny.
like a skill issue, Scott, for your internet connection, all right? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, GTA 6, keep your eyes peeled. And I'm sure that when the GTA 6 trailer does get released, we'll be talking about it on this podcast. So look forward to that. But anyway, ahead of the GTA 6 rumor and then official confirmation, there was another news story that was pretty sizable, I'd say. That I know Matt is. I can see the fire behind his eyes. He is itching to talk about it. He's itching. Nintendo reveals that a live-action Zelda movie is in development. So Shigeru Miyamoto took to the Nintendo Twitter account earlier today and announced that a Legend of Zelda live-action movie film is in production. Movie film. Miyamoto also confirmed that he would be producing the film alongside Avi Arad, who is best known as the producer on the majority of the Spider-Man films at Sony, as well as a lot of other dodgy bits, guys. Alongside the tweet was a press release which confirmed that The Legend of Zelda will be co-financed, this is an interesting point, by Nintendo and Sony Pictures Entertainment, and that Wes Ball, director of the Maze Runner films and the upcoming Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, will be directing the film. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information we've got on the live-action Zelda movie. What do we think? We know the main question we want to discuss, but before we get into that, before we cast the Zelda movie, what are your thoughts on it being live-action over animation? That's my main concern.
I'm a bit sad. How Matt's sitting right now. Yeah, me. I feel really sad. I think a big point of the Zelda games, I don't even enjoy the Zelda games, and a big point that I see of it is that it's like really, really beautiful to just look at and appreciate, even on a really hideous, ugly console like the Nintendo Switch. Like, it's still a really gorgeous game, and I just don't think that live action is going to do that justice at all in the slightest. I think it needed to be animated. It needed to be sort of delivered the way like a Studio Ghibli movie is delivered. Do you know what I mean? Like, just beautiful, scenic, lovely like soundtrack. It just needed to be like that.
That's what
and
you want.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be like that, guys. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like Avatar: The Last Airbender live action with that little bald kid.
Oh no.
I think that like first of all, I've got to say there's loads of things wrong. I think that they've already got wrong. Like not with what you said,
Where's
Jasmine.
the fridge?
But
Where's
I think
the fridge?
Why is the giraffe 5 stories tall?
No, I mean, first off, you've got Wes Ball directing it. He's the wrong director. He's done Maze Runner and nothing else, and he's set up to do some big films, but he hasn't done them yet, so we don't know if he can
Maze
even
Runner was
do
great.
it.
I thought
the first one was good.
Maze Runner, I won't say was like the best, but I won't say it was the worst. But it was a copy of 3 other franchises. Like, it was just trying to be the next Hunger Games, the next
Games,
like you know, it was trying to be that thing. And
Divergent.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like even Divergent, like it's not the thing. You need the person that for this type of project. You need the person that made Hunger Games the franchise. You need the person that made Lord of the Rings the franchise. You need the Peter Jackson. You need.
Can we get Peter Jackson in here? Yeah.
You need to get somebody that you think could do a really good job to the source material, or so. First of all, I just think the director's wrong, and then you've got like this co-funding thing.
Right,
like
that's one thing. The director's wrong. Carry on. Right.
Yeah. Just a small thing, the director.
Yeah, I just don't think that's the right choice. And then you've got like the fact that it's co-funded, like, which makes me feel like it's wrong. Because they couldn't get someone to get on board with the project.
What do you mean?
Well, you don't, like, typically, like, Nintendo wouldn't co-fund their own film project. It would be this film studio that would take that. But the film studio is like, I don't know, and they're like, we'll pay for half of it. Like, that's what it seems like to me. So that's a bit sort of weird. And then the debate between whether it should be, and I just would need to get to like the end of the debate between the animation over live action is like, I think there's a for and against for both. I personally think animation will work fantastically for it. The bit that would be let down is because obviously Link doesn't speak. There's a lot more in terms of what you can. There's a lot less that you can convey. That was so bad.
That's all you get.
but there's a lot less you can convey. Whereas if it's live action, there's a lot more subtlety in the acting that you can bring forward. But you have to turning anything live action is just such a massive
I think they
chore.
can do that with animation. There's a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. This is the one I keep referring back to because it's just what I imagine in my head when I imagine Zelda as a movie, where there's a lot of characters that don't speak, and it's still.
Oh
like...
yeah, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I'm saying
right.
the pro for live action is that there's a lot more in terms of the subtlety of like immersing someone into the world of Zelda.
Strongly disagree, but it's okay.
But I don't think that it's an easy thing to pull off, and it's something that is very much like a dangerous line to walk, and I just don't really think it's the franchise to turn into a television or movie thing.
We knew that Legend of Zelda was next up, given the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, right? There's no avoiding it. And what I will say is that I'd rather take a live action movie over the 3D animated style of the Super Mario Brothers movie, because I think that would look weird. As like,
but that's suited to Mario Bros, right?
Of course.
It's not going to suit Zelda, so I don't think they would have even gone with that.
Yeah, but what strikes me is, because I think me and Matt are both in agreement with you, Jasmine, that Studio Ghibli would have been the gold standard for, or somebody like them, because I know like a couple of the founders of Studio Ghibli spun off and did their own thing. It's really weird considering that I think it was last year or beginning of this year that we got those like series of Studio Ghibli Star Wars shorts. And I'm kind of thinking like, oh, well, if Disney can get Studio Ghibli to work on Star Wars stuff, why the hell can't they get them to do like Legend of Zelda? And they also did the cutscenes for the first Ni no Kuni game. So they know, they're in the business of like the video game world. Because how do you make Link talk in this movie? Do you cast an unknown as Link? Because I can guarantee you now, if you cast Chris Pratt as Link, there's no way he's staying quiet for that whole thing. Chris Pratt is Mario. Chris Pratt is Garfield. This is true.
Yeah, but in a live action.
Cast him.
I think you just said the complete wrong person.
I know, that was the point. But generally,
I know.
They're going to want a star, right? And that's not the right way to go on about this. I'm just going to go to the comments before we get too far off course. And we're going to cast the Zelda movie, guys, so don't worry. Adam L says, I'm so over video game movies. I'll only watch if Matt promises to tear the plot holes apart. Matt?
He definitely will.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. Tick that off. JD says, live action Zelda would be a great companion to those CDI Zeldas. Well, excuse me, princess. Will Johnson says, completely agree with Jasmine. Yeah, I think we all do. Adam L says, did they cast Tom Holland as Link and Tom Holland as Zelda? Well, we're going to get into that.
I think this would have been like the one time where if Matt made a TikTok, Tom Holland does every character, I'd be like,
no way.
That worked. It would have worked, I think.
He does have a
elvish ears.
Elvish sort of like face.
Features.
Yeah.
JD says, another example where the Zelda name will carry the film with no concern for quality. Because that Super Mario Brothers movie, it was very milquetoast. It was very safe. And I'm kind of, have you not heard that phrase before? It was very like vanilla. And I feel like, this is going to be the exact same. But Will calls out an amazing Studio Ghibli film. I don't believe there's any dialogue in it. Is it The Red Turtle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that option there. Right, before we get into the casting, which I know I keep teasing, like the other question I want to know, you're making a Legend of Zelda movie. It's live action.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do a completely original story, or do you base it off one of the games, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess?
I was going to say Ocarina of Time feels like the classic one to go for, but because I feel like that was a lot of people's entry points. Even I played Ocarina of Time. Now I have finally. But
then do you cast two Links, because young Link, adult Link?
I don't know. I'm not the director.
You're not Wes Ball.
I'm going to start crying in a second. I don't know. I kind of agree with Matt in that it feels like everything here is just kind of wrong. So
it just feels off. It just feels
it feels like
off.
The obvious answer, which is Ocarina of Time, is just going to be wrong. I know that. That's why I'm not even going to like toy into it too much, because I'm wrong. I know I am.
Well, go on, Matt.
I think it would have to be like a story from the games, and I guess you've got to think about like where their vision for Zelda going. If they're going to do a one-off like standalone live action movie, or do they want to turn this into a franchise? I imagine the latter is more true. So you've got to start somewhere where you can then move on from that story, or tell that story over 3 films or whatever, which is the sort of done thing. But it just all feels slightly off, and I haven't got a lot of confidence for it.
Yeah. Well, kind of picking up on your point, what I was going to say is, if they don't do Ocarina of Time, which I agree, like I feel like even if you don't play games, you hear the phrase Ocarina of Time and everyone has heard of it. They know what that means. The other thing they could do is go way back to the canonical beginning and tell the story of Skyward Sword, which is, how Link meets Zelda, how Hyrule comes to be. And if you do that, then you set yourself a roadmap of stories.
Yeah,
like
it might have to.
Twilight
It might
Princess.
have to be something like that, because if you're trying to introduce people who haven't ever played Zelda into that world, as well, you're trying to capture a new younger audience who haven't maybe played the games in the beginning or whatnot, you're going to need like some way to tell that story of how they meet, and like you need to provide the context around the rest of the ongoing franchise, however long it ends up going on for. I suspect just one film, but
do you reckon?
Well, I just think I just think it will flop, and then they won't do anything else with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hope, like, considering everything we're hearing, because like I sort of like hinted towards it before, but Avi Arad, okay, he's produced like a couple of good films, but this is a producer that always seems to have his fingers in the pies of like pop culture, comic book properties. Like, okay, yeah, he's responsible for the Spider-Man films, but guess what? He's also responsible for the Amazing Spider-Man films. He's also responsible for the Ghost Rider movies. Like, and both of them are a bit iffy. Adam L is in the chat. He says Jack Black as Zelda. I am in. Okay. We're continuing to roll on with this show? I'm gonna guess,
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's still coming through on my app.
Yeah, I just checked it.
It's working all fine. Sorry, guys. I think we've had a connection issue, but I think we're back. I think that's what's going on right now. I think
we didn't say anything too controversial, so all good. But anyway, right, okay. Casting the Zelda movie. We've already mentioned. Was it Tom Holland as Link? Are we in agreement on that? We also need Tingle, Ganon, and Zelda. I think minimum.
I feel like, okay, I don't know if Matt wants to go through what he has already sort of been working on.
I'm not all the way through the list yet.
But I kind of, as soon as you put in your casting for Ganon, I was like, yeah, 100%. Like, agreed. Couldn't think of anyone better. So Matt put Dwayne Johnson as Ganon. And I just genuinely could not think of anyone better for the role.
I think because I was looking at the you remember those AI images that were made like pretending that Netflix had we're going to do a live action series, and they had Idris Elba.
Ooh.
Nah.
No,
and
it has to be Dwayne Johnson. Has to be.
Or Dave Bautista. I kind of feel this is the thing. Dave Bautista is a much better actor, in my opinion, than Dwayne Johnson.
Well,
Dwayne Johnson's always the same character, isn't he?
It's just the thing is I feel like
he's the big angry stepdad.
Dwayne Johnson attaches himself to it, it will literally be a Black Adam all over again. And so it might be dangerous, but I
just want to address the comments in the chat. So Maheen says, what did I miss? And Nathan says, hello, you're back. We are currently casting the live action Legend of Zelda movie. So far, we're saying The Rock for Ganon, it seems. And Tom Holland is
that like I said that, but I don't know. Aaron,
I think for me, Dave Bautista.
But I think Dave Bautista's too broad. Like, when I think of Ganon, he's like, okay, he's like a chunky guy, but he's also quite tall. Like, whereas like David Bautista, God bless him, like he's a bit challenged in the neck department, isn't he? Whereas like, Ganondorf, I don't know, he's got that stuff
just like
around.
I'm putting up a picture for myself. I'm not going to put this on the stream.
I don't know.
I'm putting a picture of Ganondorf and David Bautista side by side. I'm just thinking, it's not really doing it for me. It's just like like Elijah Wood isn't actually a hobbit. Like it's just you can.
those sorts of things matter less and less and less as you.
Right. Well, what about this? Maheen's coming in with the chat. Terry Crews might be.
Oh my god!
Oh,
How did I
Terry
forget about
Crews.
Terry
Oh,
Crews?
Come on now.
All right, let's go
How
Terry
did I
Crews.
forget about Terry Crews? Yeah, I'm
And
with it.
I
love
like
Terry Crews.
Yeah.
And I like Adam L's casting for Zelda, Jack Black.
Jack Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Adam L's also put in. Honestly, just do Tom and Zendaya, Link, Zelda, and it will sell.
Tom and
millions to
Zendaya
teenagers.
would actually be a draw for people to go and watch. Like
Yeah,
this
100%.
this couple, Hollywood
100%.
couple that are like everyone loves because they're so
Robert
cute
Pattinson
or
and
whatever.
Kristen Stewart. They still got it. Come on, let's get them back in.
And but I kind of think that Timothy Chalamet is a better casting for
Link.
for
And
Link.
then what? They can get Kylie Jenner in as Zelda. I mean,
Who did I don't want to. I don't want to
that's a big
spoil
no. That's
it.
that's a Hollywood couple, isn't it? They can get men, and then all the 16-year-olds will go and watch it.
Are they going to be?
I mean, it'd be great casting.
I doubt Nintendo are targeting like teen audiences. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be a
No,
family
yeah,
movie, right?
yeah. I think they're definitely targeting.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine viewers. So.
I think they're just going for like they're pulling on the heartstrings of people that are going to feel nostalgic about the franchise. People that like played it as kids and stuff, and now they're going to go and watch it and take their kids to watch it, type of thing, and introduce their kids to the series. Is my thought process with it.
Yeah.
People like Nathan. Nathan will go and he'll watch it with his daughter. And
But you need you want. I feel like when if they're gonna like target an older audience and sort of bank on the nostalgia of the story aspect, then we want good actors. We want very good actors. Like
Terry Crews is great. What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about like I don't think that there should be any. I would worry about like sort of gimmick casting.
Yeah.
Like I'm tempted to say just make it. They won't do this. Just make
Jason
it all
Momoa
unknowns.
as Ganon. Jason Momoa as Ganon is a good shout.
Well, yeah, but Nathan, that's from Nathan. He just a minute ago said Ben Kingsley as Ganon, Oscar-winning actor Ben Kingsley.
Tilda Swinton as Ganon.
Tilda Swinton, yeah.
I think what you said is right. I think if they just sort of did a bunch of unknown castings, I think that's what would work best. And
You'd save money that way as well. Do you know what I mean?
they
I feel
don't
like-
need to have big names attached to this movie. I think the franchise is already like they've got the marketing there. They can already bank on a lot of people going to see it based on nostalgia alone. I don't think they need to have Timothy Chalamet or The Rock in it.
No, but I think that it would be a long process of trying to find the right unknown actors. I mean, it's perfectly possible. It's been done loads of times before, but like
Nobody
you
knew
need
who
those.
Orlando Bloom was before Lord of the Rings, Matt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is, and he's talked about that about how little he got paid, but it made his career like, and he was perfect for that role. I reckon.
Or Maheen coming back in with the corkers again. So RuPaul and Michelle Visage as Twin Rover. Okay, nice one. Yeah. AKA Maheen's never-ending quest to get Jasmine to watch Drag Race.
I won't do it, Maheen. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Nathan's also coming in with some more casting choices. Jaden Smith is Link, maybe. I don't know.
It's not speaking to me.
I'd take a Karate Kid 2 with Jaden Smith over him as Link, though. Or Asa Butterfield from Sex Education fame.
I don't think I could watch the movie
Innocent
if Asa
Link.
Butterfield was in it. After seeing him in Sex Education and seeing the scenes that he's had in there, I don't think I could take it seriously.
Yeah. Adam also says, that's a mistake. Tom, Zendaya to draw the teens in, then link into it a Zelda game and cash in on those sales. Banking on old audiences will be the downfall of the movie. I think this has got to have a broad appeal as opposed to just being
It's got to work.
teen...
It's got to work for both audiences, but I think you've got to pick like which one you are like leaning towards in terms of how you're going to present the movie, like what sort of film, what sort of movie you're going to make. Like, is it going to be bright and airy, or is it going to be dark, like, and try and make it gritty or whatnot? Because I feel like an older audience would want something a bit more gritty, or want something a bit more like have some sort of like, it's obviously going to be a fantasy film, but like have some sort of basis in realism, like in that sort of where the characters are tangible, and whereas whereas a much younger audience might not favor that.
Did any of you watch the Warcraft movie from like 5 or 6 years ago?
No.
I think I watched 10 minutes of it before I turned it off.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you go too gritty with it, then like that's why I think it's a Nintendo movie. They're going to want to keep it light and airy. I expect the story for this film to be absolute garbage because the Super Mario Brothers movie was absolute garbage as well, to be honest, and they still made $1 billion. But but to our point earlier of casting unknowns, the Super Mario Brothers movie, did they need Chris Pratt as Mario? No. And I would say it's the same situation here. The only, like, what's his name from Always Sunny? Charlie Day as Luigi. He was really good. But, like, and then people are going to say the whole Jack Black thing. I would argue that Jack Black is playing Jack Black rather than the character of Bowser, to be honest. And I just hope that, you know, if they do get a Hollywood star to play Link, which I think they are, that doesn't, like, counteract.
I think they will definitely have stars playing Link and Zelda.
Yeah.
And Ganon. At least, and then everyone else, I don't know what on earth they'll do, but I think for those 3 sort of like titular characters, I think they'll have
Danny DeVito as Tingle. Come on, let's see it. Adam L says, I actually think Aaron Potter would make a fantastic Link. Well, I was going to
say, if they cast unknowns, we all might be in for a chance.
Matt, who would you want to play?
I was
thinking. What do you mean, be Ganon? Come on.
Who would I want to play? Obviously Zelda.
Oh, obviously,
what?
Yeah, obviously. I want
You need a full head of hair to play Zelda.
I want to.
Caught of Jasmine, bloody hell! I
was gonna try and make up a quick joke, but then what happened was that cut through to my heart.
Calling you out.
I'm so sorry. That was really mean.
Well.
Maheen says, I assume it would follow Ocarina of Time. No, we talked about this a minute ago. Like,
I think this is probably where the stream cut out.
Yeah. But we were thinking, if not Ocarina of Time, Matt made a good point about, like, well, if they're planning multiple movies, maybe they should go back and tell the story of Skyward Sword initially. And that way it's not a story that too many people know.
Or it'll be a couple of scenes of flashbacks.
Yeah. But what if they called it, what if it was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? What if that was the movie? If we're talking brand recognition,
it does set up for. I mean,
it would work because it's relevant right now, like to everybody, like Breath of the Wild and
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Give Link that stone arm, and then I'm in. Like, if that's like the teaser shot from the trailer, then I'd watch it.
But I feel like if they were to do that,
I'd love it if every time they cut to action scenes, it was just gameplay footage.
But that's what I was going to say. I don't think that they could do that live action very well. I feel like it looked really crap.
Yeah, it's a bit. This is what you got. How do you make those like powers and that magic and like how do you make that feel real?
That's why it needed to be animated.
Sony money.
Yeah. Animated much easier.
But that's what animated.
That's what I'm saying is so difficult about
the way that the games do.
Can I just say, like, I hate that you're making me play devil's advocate, but like, I've been a victim of this before. In that, what are Nintendo doing? Tears of the Kingdom looks like the same game. How can I get excited for this? And similar things that we're hearing about this being live action now. Like, if I know anything about Nintendo, is that they always go against the grain. They do the unexpected, and somehow, for the most part, it always ends up working. Like, I don't want a live action movie.
Did it work? The Mario movie was so bad.
Yeah, the Mario movie was not good.
It made money.
It was made by the people who gave us Minions, so I was expecting it to be bad. All right.
What do you mean? Minions was great.
I don't know if that's
like, what are you talking about? What are you on about?
I don't know if that's a good enough argument though, because like, just because it makes money doesn't mean that the work is good. And I didn't think that Mario was very good. It was a middle of the road movie.
That's what I'm saying. Aaron's here saying, "Oh, it's going to work."
And yes, it will make money. It will more than likely make money because of like marketing, PR, and whoever they manage to attach to the film. But that doesn't mean it's going to be a good film just because it's made money. Like, it's a financially successful film, which is great for the business because that's what. But in terms of a consumer and in terms of someone who enjoys the art, that does not that doesn't fly. That's like I didn't watch the whole Mario movie because I found it incredibly boring and just very middle of the road.
Do you know what bothered me about the Mario movie? As we're on this topic, obviously a lot of things, but the licensed music, man. Like when No Sleep Till Brooklyn starts playing in a Mario movie, I'm like, do you know some of the Mario games have some of the most amazing music ever, and yet I love the Beastie Boys. Don't get me wrong, but like, why have you got Jump by Van Halen playing? It's
just
I didn't even watch the Mario movie. I didn't watch it, so
I mean on Blu-ray, but.
I would argue the worst part about that film was the story.
yeah. Like I feel you could sense from the movie. This is just a Mario Brothers movie review now, guys. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. It was literally like you could feel Nintendo being like, "Look, guys, Luigi is the one that needs rescuing. Look how innovative we're being." And it's like, well, you know, you do you, I guess. I would much rather a Luigi Mansion movie.
The Zelda movie is going to be bad.
Yeah.
I was going to say a bad word. It's going to be terrible because. No matter how much the budget is, how much work they put into it, whatever director they get, like they are, I don't know who it was in chat that said it. They're going to rely so much on the name of the film, the franchise of the game, and all this that they're not going to really put the work in that they need to. The
only hope you've really got is that if Miyamoto is producing it, and then you've got Nintendo themselves co-funding it, that they are going to stay very close to the source material. That's the only hope you really got, like in terms of being true to the source material and being true to like being able to stick to that story and be able to, you know, always the best screen adaptations of books and things are when that screen that adaptation has been done by the author.
Yeah, like 50 Shades
I
of
think
Grey.
Gone Girl, Gillian Flynn is a really great example of that. But
anyway, Adam L says stick a wig on him and he will make a great Zelda. I think that's in reference to you, Matt, from earlier.
I'm sorry.
They can do amazing things these days, you know.
Yeah.
And if the hair's the only thing they got to worry about, with which clearly it is,
then movie magic.
Then it's gonna be fine, you know.
Nathan says Chris Hemsworth as Prince Sidon would be perfect. Again, like I feel like whenever a movie is announced, there's like 8 actors that everyone's like, well, which role can one of these 8 actors play? And I'm like, other actors exist, everyone.
Yeah.
But Nathan says, will Link talk? He never talks. And we talked about this earlier. Like, I feel like if you cast a big player, then he's gonna have to talk, as much as I'd hate it.
I don't think he does need to, though. I don't think he does need to. I think you need to be very, very. Well, no, it would have to be cleverly written and done, and then you'd need an actor that was really like just gives an incredible performance, like without dialogue, which I think a lot of actors would love.
Without dialogue, Andrew Garfield, when he was Spider-Man, when he's in the suit and you couldn't see his face, and like he still managed to act with his body so well. I don't know if anyone else like got
also
that,
see
like,
Nicolas Cage in Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, he was. Well. Nicolas Cage in
Willy's Wonderland.
I thought you said Willy Wonka.
Nick,
what is this film? I need to see it.
Nicolas Cage as Willy Wonka. Yeah,
I thought you said as well.
I think I've just made the next big franchise. I think Nicolas Cage as Willy Wonka is.
Finally, because we've got one more topic to talk about, guys, for the last 10 minutes. Do stick around. Maheen says, I hope Zelda won't fall into the same trap as Mario. Zelda is more about the mythos and lore and is a bit more Lord of the Ringsy as opposed to prime kids movie material, in my opinion. And I agree, but I think, as we talked about earlier, you can't go too dark with it because otherwise you end up with like a Warcraft and like, you know, millions of people play World of Warcraft. No one showed up for the movie. So you got to make it. It's got to have broad appeal, unfortunately. And then Adam L says Chris Evans is Link. Yep, that was the 8th factor I was thinking of out of those 8. So yeah, stay tuned for more details on the live action Legend of Zelda movie. It's in development now. I imagine we'll see a trailer, if not next year, the year after. But go and watch the IGN April Fool's Legend of Zelda live action trailer if you did want to sort of set yourself in the mood. I don't know if anybody here has watched that, but yeah, it's like 10 years old now. Okay, so final news story of the day. The PS5 Slim teardowns are here, and they reveal minimal size difference, putting into question what was the point. Like it or lump it, the PS5 Slim is a very real hardware revision to Sony's popular current-gen console, hitting store shelves later this month. There's no official PS5 Slim release date, though a leaked Modern Warfare 3 PS5 Slim bundle suggests that they'll start to appeal from this Friday. It's all part of the gaming giant's plan to phase out the initial launch model in favor of this new, slightly smaller option, and until now we've not seen the two models compared, but certain tech experts, such as Linus Tech Tips and YouTuber Dave2D, have since received the PS5 Slim, and the size difference is not really that big at all. So I don't know if you guys have had a chance to have a look at some of these unboxings that have been going around right now. The PS5 Slim is imminent, and so the launch version's specs are 358 width by 96 height by 216 millimeters depth, and it basically works out that the PS5 Slim is 16 millimeters shorter in height than the standard launch model. It's also
that's height when it's on its side, by the way. Just so
yeah.
knows.
Thank you, thank you, Jasmine, hardware expert, keeping me honest. And also, obviously, it's slightly lighter. But my big takeaway is, what was the point? What was the point? It's the same price. The consumer's not, saving any money. The only person that's saving money is Sony because they're reducing the size of the components.
You literally just answered your own question.
I know,
what
but
was
they're
the point?
Sony's going to save
about
money.
it. Yeah,
Obviously.
obviously. Because they know that they don't need to do anything from here on out. They've this generation of consoles, they are sorted. They are happy. It doesn't matter anymore.
They're sorted.
It doesn't matter. Like they've literally made it easier for themselves. They've made it so that they only need one production line now. They don't need to have the digital and the disc edition like manufactured separately, saving them however much it's going to save them tons of money. They are good now. That's it. Simple as. And I think people that were expecting a massive difference between the two consoles, like the size of the two consoles, I don't know why everyone is expecting it to be such a big difference. I know that that's what Sony have done historically. I know that the difference between like the PS2 Fat and Slim was massive, and same with the PS4. But you could just kind of tell Sony were getting to the end of they're getting to the point now. PS5 is kind of winning the console wars this generation.
Oh, it's won. It's already over.
They don't need to put they don't need to put work in now. They're right. Do you know what I mean? They're good.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway.
Don't get me started on the attachable disk drive debacle as well. Do you know what I mean? That's a whole other thing in itself, which I think we've litigated before. In fact, it might have been the last podcast. So we got some comments in the chat. Adam L says, "Let me get the popcorn to hear why Jasmine hates yet another fantastic Sony product." Blimey, Adam L.
Another fantastic Sony product. What are you talking about? Which one's the other one? Because if you say the PlayStation Portal, Adam L, me and you ain't mates anymore.
Well,
we are done.
That's what he's referring to.
We are done, yeah.
And then we've got Maheen. He says the PS5 Slim is how I feel after going to the gym once, but in reality, there's not much difference.
Relatable.
Maheen, I'm right there with you. And then Adam L says you can have a PS5 in LE color as long as it is black. I don't know where you're getting that from, because I believe that the faceplates, the like colored ones, they work on both. But I know there's also like a racing stripe around the Slim. Maybe we should have checked.
The Slim has a stripe on it because that's where it separates. The plate separates, so you can attach the disc drive to it. And then also, when you attach the disc drive, the actual console itself is basically the same size as like a normal disc edition PS5, which is a bit disappointing.
I think it's like 20 quid more expensive if you buy the Slim digital. And then opt for the attachable disc drive. So
also, you need to buy this silly stand for it. This silly stand that is just done my head in. It's like 30 quid for this stand, so you can stand up your PS5. Do you know what you could do with your current PS5? You can just stand it up. It just stands up on its own. Do you know what I mean? Raging. I am raging.
She is raging. Nathan says, also, I've changed my mind with the Project Q after being ill.
Nathan, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
Playing FIFA in bed? Oh, that's tempting now, he says.
Okay, play it on your phone then. And
then Adam L says, yes, Nathan.
No, play it on your phone then.
Matt, are you bothered about the PS5 Slim? Like, I guess you're in agreement with me and Jasmine mainly.
Yeah, what Jasmine said really. It's like obviously they're gonna figure out a way to make it for cheaper, and then make you pay for all the attachments that are unnecessary but necessary. It's just I don't like that they've done it this way, because it's just moving into that area of rather than like, here's a product and this, you buy the product and then that's what you get. It's like, here's the product, but then you need this attachment, and then if you want to stand it up, you've got to buy this thing so you can stand it. And like that just feels like tacky to me, like for when companies do that. So I don't like that. But
seen pictures of the two consoles side by side that some tech influencers have.
Well, they look exactly the same, but one's got a black stripe down there.
They don't look exactly the same.
Are you able to
the
share
PS5
it,
Slim? I'm going to see if I can find it. The PS5 Slim looks like the way that Scott put it. That I found it so funny when he put it on Twitter. He's like, "This looks like the Game Station 5 from Poundland."
Yeah.
It looks really, really crap. Like the quality of it looks awful.
What?
Really?
So where it's slit, like the top half is matte and the bottom half is gloss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of it that Jeff Keighley tweeted.
Oh, let's do it, Jeff.
Let me see
We've
if
been
I can
talking about
open
him.
it. You have to give me a second though, because I'm not
That's
very
all
good at sharing screens and stuff.
Maheen's still chiming in. Says, how much is the normal one going to be after the Slim comes out? Might get the old one.
They
Here's
are
the
actually
thing.
phasing it out. Yeah,
They're phasing it out. They're the same price. This is the PS5 now, and the tech influencers who did the teardowns on the box, it just says PS5. It doesn't say PS5 Slim, so they're really just treating it as if it's the standard model.
Here's the tweet. Here's the tweet. Right.
Yeah.
Look at this. On the left-hand side, you get the PS5 Slim. Looks absolutely disgusting compared to the PS5. It looks horrid. Tell me this isn't credit to Scott McRae for this joke, the Game Station 5 from Poundland.
Yeah.
Tell me.
That's definitely accurate. But to
It
me,
looks so bad,
I'm
doesn't
sorry, but to me, both of them look terrible.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I think
both
that
look-
the PlayStation 5 was hideous. Like, as soon as I got one and had to put it somewhere in my living room, I stood there for ages. Like, where am I going to put this nasty thing?
You have no idea how challenging it was to find a TV unit.
You've
big enough
spoken
to
about
fit
this on the
thing.
podcast before.
It was like my makers like people laugh, but like it's my job, right? Like I need to have a PS5 in my living room. That's just how it is. So like I'd go to these places and be like measuring like like an adult, I guess. But yeah. Adam L says they had to make the PS5 Slim to make room on my shelf for the Project Q to sit next to it. Aesthetics matter, people. It's certainly a choice. I don't think it's the biggest testament to the design of your console when you have to constantly add additional like stands and trinkets, to Matt's point earlier. Like a console should be standalone. And I know that the Xbox Series X is a bit boring, but guess what? You can put it sideways, you can stand it up. It is what it is.
It just feels like a money grab, like when someone's charging you $30 for a stand. Like,
and they're not even trying to hide it.
They've literally made it so it doesn't stand up by itself. Like,
yeah,
it's like that's just come up. That's really low to me.
I might be wearing blue, but why do you think I'm not a Sony pony today? Because I don't agree with this PlayStation. Sort it out. Aaron Bain in the chat. Aaron Bain says, nice to see you, Aaron. Says, I'm totally here for the size reductions, but the design changes aren't for me. And love that after selling those cover plates for the last year, they are now completely useless with this new one. There you go then. So that answers my point. So if you bought one of the colored cover plates, because I guess the way they detach, it's not going to work anymore. Adam L says, after that pick, I can't even disagree with Jasmine's anger for banter now. 100% right on this one.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm
There
never
you
wrong.
go.
Never
Isn't
wrong.
she
That's
always?
not true. I am often wrong. But this, I'm not wrong about.
And then Maheen says, we love a verse console. Verse?
What does
Am I
that
getting
mean?
that right? Don't know, Maheen. You might have to enlighten us there. Yeah.
Basically, this console is a disaster. But it's okay that it's a disaster because
you're going to be seeing it a lot more.
Yeah, like Sony have already made all the money that they need from the PS5. They know that they're working on R&D for the PS6 now. They don't care. They just need to get it cheaper to be manufactured so they can keep selling it. That's it. They're getting rid of. I just read Maheen's comment. Let's not. They are getting rid of the original PS5 like the line for it. It's done, and they've done a really good job at it for themselves. They don't care about the consumer.
They don't
anymore.
care. So and this is the same company that's putting out the PSVR 2 and the Project Port, PlayStation
Portal. Yeah,
it's been quite a time for PlayStation, but despite all
I don't
this,
think
they're still
PSVR 2
successful.
was too bad. I don't think PSVR 2 was too bad. Here's my thing. Is that I don't just hate on everything that Sony put out. I will say I gave the PSVR 2 a good 4 out of 5 stars. I was very, very happy with it. Very devastated that I had to give it to Aaron to review something on, and I don't have it anymore. Really, really upset about that. I genuinely really loved the PSVR 2. The only downside was that you needed to spend over $1,000 to be able to play games on it.
this is a whole other debate. I agree with you. The PSVR 2 as a piece of tech, amazing. But what the hell is there to play on it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
It always
maybe
comes
you're
back
right.
to the games, guys.
Oh
Yeah,
my
this-
god! Just get it on a shirt. Just get it.
People, get it. Anyway, we have to unfortunately end the show. We've gone slightly earlier this week, but guys, I've had a lot of fun with you discussing why The Rock should or shouldn't be Ganon, all that jazz. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. We've had lots of names in the chat. Maheen, Adam L, Nathan, of course. I believe we had William Johnson in there, a lovely chap, if I do say so myself. JD Incinerator, as always. Kotax, you're still asking for Modern Warfare free codes. I respect the hustle, but go hang someone else, my man. Scott McRae is also in there, as well as... Is there someone else? That was everybody. But anyway, Matt, Jasmine, thank you for joining me. We will be back
Thank you for
next
having
week.
us.
No worries, always a pleasure. We'll be back next week at the usual time of 4 o'clock for the next Mirror Gaming walkthrough. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye for now.